In a small town where the most exciting thing to happen was the occasional power outage, lived Lila, an adventurous, curious, and often impulsive 17-year-old. She spent her days dreaming of uncharted lands, dangerous quests, and heroic discoveries. Maps covered her bedroom walls, and her imagination stretched beyond the limits of her sleepy town. One ordinary evening, as Lila sorted through a pile of mail, she found a peculiar package with no return address. Inside was a brass compass with intricate symbols and a note that read, "Follow the needle, discover your world." The compass glowed faintly, and curiosity got the better of her. As the needle spun, it pointed directly at her closet door. With a mixture of skepticism and excitement, Lila opened the door. A swirling vortex of blue light appeared, pulling her in before she could react. She tumbled through darkness, screaming until she landed, face first, into something soft and squishy. As she sat up, she realized she was in a tree made of purple marshmallow. Around her stretched a landscape of candy cane mountains, rivers of golden syrup, and floating islands that bobbed like balloons in the sky. "Welcome to the land of Quirks," a voice chirped. Lila turned to see a small, fuzzy creature with a top hat and a monocle perched on the branch beside her. It was a raccoon. Or at least, it looked like one, if raccoons wore tailored suits and spoke perfect English. "I'm Sir Whiskerbottom," the creature said, tipping his hat. "You must be the visitor." "The visitor?" Lila asked, brushing marshmallow fluff from her clothes. "I didn't plan on visiting anywhere today." "Ah, but adventures rarely check your schedule," Sir Whiskerbottom said with a sly smile. "The compass brought you here because this land needs your help. And perhaps, you need it too." Lila scoffed. "Help? From me? I'm just me. Every great explorer starts as just me," he said, gesturing for her to follow. And so, Lila's adventure began. The challenge of the Quirks. The land of Quirks was both delightful and perplexing. The inhabitants were called Quirklings, strange, whimsical beings with personalities as vibrant as their surroundings. But Lila quickly learned that the land was in trouble. The great glowstone, which kept the land balanced, had dimmed, and the kingdom was slowly falling apart. Her task was to find and restore it. However, Lila had a habit of charging into situations without understanding them. When she saw a bridge guarded by a grumpy troll named Gruffless, she tried to boss her way through. "Look, I don't have time for riddles," she snapped. "Just let me cross." Gruffless growled and stomped his foot. The bridge instantly transformed into slippery soap, sending her sliding into the river below. Soaking wet, she climbed out as Sir Whiskerbottom shook his head. "In the land of Quirks, things don't work like in your world," he said. "You can't demand. You have to understand."
Lila groaned but nodded. She realized that navigating this world required patience and empathy, two things she often left behind in her excitement. Lessons in understanding. As they ventured deeper into the land, Lila began to listen more and assume less. When they encountered the bubble bees, enormous bees that spoke in rhyme, she didn't interrupt. Instead, she listened carefully and deciphered their riddle, earning a glowing pollen map that led them to the glowstone cave. The cave was guarded by the whispering wall, which only opened when spoken to with kindness. Lila knelt before it and said, "Please, if you can, let us through. We only wish to help." The wall rumbled, then slowly split open. Inside, the glowstone hung from the ceiling, dim and lifeless. Lila hesitated. She didn't know what to do. "Trust yourself," Sir Whiskerbottom encouraged. Taking a deep breath, she placed her hand on the stone. "I don't know exactly how to fix you," she whispered, "but I care. And I'm here to help." The stone pulsed once, twice, then flared with brilliant light. The ground trembled, and warmth spread through the cave. Outside, the sky brightened, and the floating island steadied. The land of Quirks was whole again. Homecoming and growth. The Quirklings cheered, showering Lila with confetti made of petals. Sir Whiskerbottom gave her a proud nod. "You learned the greatest secret of exploration," he said. "It's not just about maps or bravery. It's about understanding the world, and the people in it." Before she could respond, the compass in her pocket glowed fiercely. The ground beneath her swirled, and in a blink, she was back in her bedroom, sitting on the floor with the compass in her hand. Everything looked the same, yet she felt different. In the days that followed, Lila found herself listening more to others, asking questions, and showing patience.